When the doctor told me that I had TB and I was not going to leave the hospital even to collect my clothes and put me straight into bed, because a number of things started to happen rather quickly. The first, naturally, was that everybody came and said how sorry they were. In the same breath, they said, what are we going to do? And it was quite clear to me that very soon that I didn't know how long I was going to be there. It might be a year, it might be 2 years. I might even not get out at all. So I had to readjust myself. And I had to rethink. Now, one thing that happened was that Lee Court had already developed the crack in its foundations. And by an enormous piece of good fortune, Carnegie Fund were coming down to have a look at us because we'd written to them and asked if they'd give us a van. We were short of transport. Of course, when we discovered the crack and knew they were coming down, we just didn't know what to do. We wondered what on earth they'd think of us. Their reaction was quite different from what we'd expected, and very humane and understanding. They looked at this crack, and instead of giving us up as hopeless, they offered to do something about it. And the upshot was, during the time that I was at Midhurst, that they agreed that they would give us a new building, completely new building. When everything was settled and finished, and it was agreed the money was coming, the entire money to pay the full cost of a new building, Carnegie wrote and said this was subject to one condition, and that was that I was to sign a guarantee that I would have renounce all control over Lee Court. I was to have no personal say over Lee Court whatsoever. I was shocked. I was affronted. And I sat up in bed and I wrote to the committee and I said, I was trying to say that freedom to work as we wanted was more important than money. I wrote this letter. I couldn't get it right. I had to tear it up. I started again. I found I couldn't write it. So I couldn't write it as I wanted. So in the end, I gave it up. I just gave in. I said, all right, accept it. Just one short sentence I wrote. In fact, of course, we've lost nothing. It was probably even a good thing that I didn't have control over Lee Court. I was just one other person who could add his own voice. I think that I learned a crucial lesson, but a difficult lesson. Because when I was in Midhurst, I realized that either I was going to have to let the homes go and see them collapse, or else I was going to have to hand everything over to the committees. You find that if it's something that you've started yourself, it's very difficult to hand it over to another person. When I had a couple of days off, I went to Bromley, to St. Cecilia. They did it in their own way. Again, I was a bit startled because it was different. You see, it was not my way. I thought, no, it's not right. But they were completely right. It was their own. And this feeling, it's we who've done this, not you. We've done this. They'll put much more of their heart into it.